Welcome to Living Transplant,
the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of the transplant program at Toronto General Hospital
and brings you open and honest conversations about the transplant experience.
My name is Courtney, and I'm the communications specialist for the Center for Living Organ Donation.
And my name is Brittany. I'm a bedside nurse in the Ajmira Transplant Center.
Full disclosure, we are not physicians.
No, and we are not here to give you medical advice.
Think of us like your guides through the world of transplant as we know it.
Whether transplant is your past, present, or future, your passion, or your curiosity,
Living Transplant will show you the world of transplant like you've never seen it before.
Welcome to Living Transplant. Today we have our guest is Tiana McFarlane from Heal in Color. Thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to speak with you guys today.
Yeah. So normally we start our interviews by asking our guests their connection to transplant. However, I don't think that is the case for today's episode. So what is Heal in Color?
So Heal in Color is a company that I started. It's a company that sells adhesive bandages made for Black and brown skin tones. It's actually the very first company in Canada to offer Black and brown skin tones. Yeah, like there aren't adhesive bandages made for Black and brown skin. So I thought it would have been a great opportunity to create that. I have a diploma in business and I've always wanted to start my own business. So I wanted to start a company that would, promote inclusion, and that's what Heal in Color did. So I'm very excited to continue to grow this company.
Yeah, this is amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And so, okay, so you have a degree in business or a background in business. Like, how do you get started, and how you conceptualize it? I feel like makes a lot of sense, but like, how did you kind of get going, and how did you, I guess, like pitch this idea to people?
Yeah, so basically how this even started is when I was going on vacation, I had a bad cut on my leg, and I said to myself, you know what, I'm going to be wearing a bandage most of this trip. Let me see if I can find one that's going to match my skin tone so that it didn't stand out as much and that it would blend well in my skin. And I went to several stores like Shoppers, Walmart, and Sobeys, and I didn't find any brown tone bandages. I found several other bandages though, like colorful ones, the regular standard pinky nude ones, and I didn't find any. So at that point, the gears in my head started going, and I was like, okay, you have a business mindset. You've always wanted to start your own business. Why don't you start a company that sells adhesive bandages for Black and brown skin tones and fill that gap? And that's really how it started. And from there, I knew that I would need a manufacturer to create such a thing. So that was pretty much what took most of the time and effort, honestly, because finding someone to create something that isn't widely made is hard, because a lot of these factories don't want to make it because they're doing something out of the norm. This is new and innovative. So I had to go through about 50 manufacturers to more than 50 manufacturers to even find someone that was willing to work with me and make, my vision come to life. And once I found that, I started creating my business plan. I found a web developer to make my website. I found a graphic designer to make the box. We collaborated on that a little bit. And she brought my vision to life. Once I saw the box and once I received my samples, I was like, wow, this is so perfect. Like I wanted to make sure that other people with Black and brown skin could experience what it feels like to have a bandage that matches their skin for the very first time. And yeah, just project management was basically one of the classes that really helped me really stay on track and, meet every goal and every step on the way.
Nice.
That's incredible.
Well, I was just gonna because I think this whole thing makes so much sense. Like the whole idea makes so much sense. It's an obvious thing to me, but I was gonna ask if you got any pushback, and the fact that you had to go to over 50 different manufacturers is insane. Like, how do why?
Why?
Do people just think it wasn't important? Like, I don't understand why that was. Yeah.
Pretty much, like I said, I think that it's because it's not something that they've done before, and it's a very new product. Like bandages in Black and brown skin tones aren't being manufactured in factories. They just aren't. So my manufacturer actually had to go above and beyond to help me find the skin tone colors in the fabric material and the flexible fabric material to create them. So I had to find someone that saw the vision, actually believed in it, and thought this was a great idea. And when I found her, I was like, this is great. I can't let you go. This is, please, let's stay
Courtney,
together.
you're thinking the same thing, right? Like, I'm like, how, why? I just don't understand. Like, mind blown.
baffled.
Like, exactly. And I'm sure you were too, Tiana, right? You were like, well, why? Like, 50 manufacturers, like, oh, I'm sorry. And more importantly, how do you find a manufacturer? Like, do you just Google it? Because that's literally the first thing I would do. Manufacturer for Band-Aid.
Manufacturer near me.
Near me.
You know what? Google is your best friend. So, I did use Google. I also there's a lot of manufacturing sites like Alibaba. You could also use AliExpress. You find the actual vendor, but really you just have to do your research online. Manufacturers for XYZ. And you literally just have to go through the list. There's tons of pages on Google once you type that in, and you just have to find the right match for you. It does take a lot of time, though, I won't even lie.
Okay, so you found a woman?
Yes. So it was a woman that responded to me, and she saw my idea, and she was like, wow, this is great. Like, I can make this happen for you. Once she sent me my samples, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely the one.
This is so cool. Like you got something when no one else has thought. When you have that much pushback, I bet you it just like reinforced your decision. You're like, yes, this is it. This is it. And like by the 50th person, you're like, yes, 50 people. Like, it was probably really annoying, but also reinforced, like, I really do have something here.
Yeah, I mean, I won't even lie. It did get really I was just encouraged a few times. I'm like, oh my God, am I going to be able to actually find someone to do this? Like, I definitely lost motivation at some points, and I'm really proud of myself for not giving up and, just pushing through and continuing to look for the right manufacturer to bring my dream to life. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, aside from the very obvious, I can't like state how obvious it is, the importance of like representation at all levels. Like, aside from that very obvious part, from a business perspective, aren't some of these manufacturers like, this is something that like no one else is making? I'm pretty sure I don't know how sure I am, but like more brown and black people in the world than there are people with white skin tones or lighter skin tones. I don't know. I'm just making that statement.
Why wouldn't they want to hop on that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, just from purely a business perspective, like it kind of blows my mind. I feel like you should go back to all of them and do like the Pretty Woman scene.
Well,
where you're like,
where it's like,
huge mistake. Yeah.
Remember how I said she reminds me of Janine?
Mm-hmm.
And how if you listen to Janine's episode, I'm like, just purely off of our phone conversation last week, I was like, she gives me a Janine vibe. And Janine had a very similar experience, transplant, but still similar. She had gone to many newspaper articles trying to get her story out there about how she needed a kidney.
Yeah.
And one magazine,
I think it was Now Magazine ended up publishing her ad, but then later a bunch of the news outlets that had rejected her ad contacted her and wanted to do a story about her. And she was like,
she's like, hold up.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Yeah. I'm like, I'm telling you, she reminds me of Janine. It's the same. Y'all have to meet. She's amazing.
That's so dope. Well, I hope that for good vibes then.
Yeah. Her story's really good. Her story's really, really good. But so when did you start all of this?
So I actually came up with this idea in summer 2019. That's when the idea came in my mind. I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. And then, I started doing a little bit of work every month, like how it goes whenever you have a business idea. Like, you start putting a lot of work in the first month, and then you stop a little bit, and then you procrastinate, and then you're back to it. So I didn't really start doing this like super hard until COVID hit, to be honest. Like, I was just like, you have so much time, you need to make this happen. You've had this idea for how long now? Like, you're not going out, you're not going on vacations, you're just at home. You need to use this time wisely. And, the time that I got back from not having to commute to work, I just really put all the effort into it, and I made it happen. And honestly, I'm so happy. It's a blessing in disguise, COVID for me.
Yeah, I think there are definitely like positive things to come out of it. It's just all in your mindset for sure. So is Healing Color like now your primary source of income, or do you still have another job?
I actually still work full-time at York University. They've been super supportive about my initiative too. So, the faculty members that I work with have supported me. So I work full-time there, 9 to 5. And then I also do this right after work. So I'm still full-time with this.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's a hustler.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely hustling right now. Like, this part of my life is definitely the hustle. I can feel it in me. I'm just so much tired. I'm more tired than I've ever been right now. But I know that it's because a shift is happening in my life. So I'm very happy about that.
Wow. Just got full body chills. I love a good entrepreneurial story.
It feels good, man.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank
seriously.
you.
Because so that leads me to one of my next questions is what is some of the attention that you've gotten, like PR attention since then? Because PR, because I mean, like you kind of have that now, considering I've literally heard about you on the news.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've gotten so much media attention, and I don't even have a PR agent. Like, I do not have a PR agent. I want to let that be known. I think one of my most accomplished ones is probably Toronto Star doing a full page spread about me and calling me a change maker.
Are a change maker.
Yeah, just to see, I bought 10 copies of that Toronto Star and I gave it to family, and I'm keeping it, but it was like a full spread. Like, I had the Toronto Star photographer come to take a picture of me. He told me how to take my pictures, and just to be labeled a change maker. And honestly, that was probably one of the most, I felt really good about that PR opportunity for sure, the Toronto Star one. But there's been so many, I've been on breakfast television, CP24, I've been on CTV News National.
Get it, girl. Get it.
News Ottawa.
I'm so happy. So how I obviously okay. So I saw you on breakfast television because I start my mornings with BT. Yeah. That sounds literally like one of their contests is I don't know if you watch BT. It's I wake up with BT. I literally do. So I was getting ready for work and I had heard your story on BT, and very quickly, I think it was nearing closer to 8 a.m. I was I have to run out of the house, and very quickly hopped on my phone, and I was I don't want to forget this. Texted Courtney, I think I went on your Insta, sent it to Courtney, and said I want to interview her. This seems perfect, and I was just so that I was I don't want to forget this. But that's obviously how I heard about it, and I was I was good. How do I support this without buying a million Band-Aids? I don't have that many cuts. I don't think, right? I'm I don't know. I don't think so. But I'm how do we get this voice to be heard by many people? And I thought you would be perfect for this because obviously both of us, Courtney and I, both work in transplant. I am a nurse and Courtney is a communication specialist for the transplant program. And although I don't work with patients at the bedside anymore, point is that obviously all of our transplant patients at some point or another need a Band-Aid.
Yep. Absolutely. So there's some type of connection there.
They need a Band-Aid at some point.
It's healthcare.
Yeah. I'm in the health industry.
Yeah, exactly. Have you had, aside from all the media retention you've received, which is awesome, have you had regular people kind of write into you and say what your product means to them?
Yes, I absolutely have. Actually, there was a woman that actually had messaged me and said that her daughter was actually being bullied at school because of her skin tone. And she was just I showed her your article in the Toronto Star and her first face lit up. And I also purchased some bandages for her and I can't wait for her to get them. And you're very inspiring to her. And, she really just lit up when she saw your story. And I was just wow. I swear I almost had tears in my eyes when I read the message. I was just I'm so sorry she's being bullied. I couldn't even believe that was even happening. But I told her, thank you so much. Tell her that, I'm rooting for her. And I really hope that she overcomes this difficult time. And, also told her mom to make sure that she's talking to the principal and, holding the parents accountable and the children accountable for bullying. Like, we can't just keep sweeping these type of things under the rug. You know what I mean? So that's probably one of the messages that really, stood out to me the most. But other than that, yeah, I definitely do receive a lot of messages daily, just people saying, this is a great initiative. You're doing amazing. Thank you for starting this product. And how can we support you? And, keep doing what you're doing. Like, even donations, like, it's been so great so far. It's been really great.
Oh, I just love this.
You're gonna make Brittany cry.
I cry in every episode.
She does cry in every episode.
If I got a message from somebody like that, I would be sobbing.
I swear,
I'd be out. But so I guess this might get personal, but have you ever experienced something like that personally, like where you've been bullied and you're like about like obviously like a Band-Aid or something where you're like, wish I had something like that? Or was it just that you were going on vacation and you were like, no, like something's got to change?
No, I haven't actually experienced bullying because of a bandage, but I have, it was basically the vacation that sparked this. It didn't really have to do with bullying, but I think we've all experienced some type of bullying in our life, of course, at some point. Mm-hmm. So, but that didn't really have anything to do with the bandage for me.
Yeah. Me either, but I had a very memorable experience with another staff member years ago. He had come to the nursing station and asked for a Band-Aid, and I don't know what he did, but he just asked for a Band-Aid and I handed it to him, and we both kind of looked at each other and thought the exact same thing, because he was another Black male, and well, I'm not Black, I'm Black, but I'm not a male, but yeah, you get the point. But we both kind of looked at each other. I can't remember what he said, but Maya Angelou's like quote about, you never remember what they say, but you always remember how they made you feel. But that was like, we both kind of looked at each other like, this isn't my skin tone. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time that I had been like, yeah, it isn't.
Wow. When was this? What year?
This was years ago. This was like, I started 20, it was like, call it 20, like 2014, 2016. Okay. We both looked at each other and was like, yeah. And then that was when I realized, yeah, they aren't my skin color.
Yep. Been like that for years. And we've been accustomed to just be okay with that. It's just been the standard. That's why the mission of Heal in Color is to make Black and brown bandages the norm and really revolutionize the way that people shop for bandages. We're in 2021 now.
I was going to say, it's like those little things that you don't really think of that are so important when it comes to like dismantling white supremacy. Like, I know that sounds like super extreme, but like,
no, it's like not.
Yeah, like representation like that is so important.
Thank you.
So are there any like future products that you want to bring out that you can talk about?
Yeah, so I'm actually working on coming out with some waterproof bandages. It's just a little bit more difficult with waterproof bandages because you do have to put latex in them. And I did want to avoid latex. So I'm working with my manufacturer to see how we can come up with that. But before that, we are going to be offering the bandages, because right now I sell a box of 30 bandages and there's 3 different shades in the boxes. So it's an assortment of shades. I want to put single shades in boxes so that, if someone wants to buy just one shade that matches their skin tone, that's fine. So they'll have the opportunity to do that. But I started off with assorted because my target audience or market was definitely hospitals, schools, or families. And those come in a variety of shades. So I want to make sure that they had all the options in one box rather than them having to buy like 3 different boxes to meet all the people in their school or their classrooms. But yeah, definitely have more things to come. And I'm also branching into the PPE. I'm sure you guys know about PPE. So trying to get into that as well. Medical devices, medical furniture. That's just going to be under Heal in Color. So I'm definitely growing and expanding.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you had any success getting into schools or hospitals?
Yes, actually, my bandages are going to be available at the York University bookstore. That's the very first official place. They're also going to be in the Clore store. I'm sure you guys know about Clore, Clore Beauty Supply. And they also going to be available on well.ca. It's a very big, yep. She hit me up. She was like, we'd love to have your product.
It happened. It happened. Did you fall off your bed?
You know what? I didn't know how big it was until I told someone else, because I personally don't shop on well.ca, but she was just like, this is a big deal, Tiana. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's nice. So I'm very happy that it'll be available in that store. And also PharmaSave is going to have it in their pharmacies as well.
What?
Yeah, I'm working on Sobeys. You know, I've been speaking to the person that does buying for Loblaws Limited, and that's literally all of like shoppers everywhere. Shoppers is under there.
Are you listening? Like
shoppers. You know what? Like, I will get it in stores. It's just it's a different process when it's in such big stores. I have to get a few things validated, that I'm working on right now. But you definitely want it in Shoppers. I mean, Shoppers is allegedly selling the Band-Aid ones. Have you guys seen the Band-Aid Our Tone?
No. So that was my next question.
Oh, well, good. Let's hear that. I'll let you ask them.
Yeah. Well, are there competitor brands?
Yes, in Canada, my only competitor right now is Band-Aid, and they're on a full promo run right now. It seems, you know, like
Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson. They've gotten a lot of public figures and influencers suddenly to start talking about their brand now, and it's interesting because they've been around for 100 years. So I wonder why it took so long for them to do this.
Yeah.
You know?
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like I kind of inspired them a little bit because I don't know. The timing is so weird. I just launched and now it's like, you know what? I'm not trying to get sued or anything for saying this, but you know, it seemed a little performative for me. It doesn't seem genuine. You've had money and resources to make this happen for years. Why now? Like,
and
why now?
Pink ones, why weren't there brown ones?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Formative.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything, I assume you weren't a bandage expert before this started. Is there any weird adhesive bandage fact you learned through this process, or something that really surprised you about how they're made or what's used to make them?
I think something that surprised me is that bandages all have standards that they have to follow. I was like, hey, can we make it more sticky than the average one? They're like, no, there's a bunch of standards that we have to follow here. And I was just like, oh, okay. You don't really have much of a pull of what to do if you want to change up how sticky the adhesive is or anything like that. Factories kind of have to follow protocols. I think that's the only thing that really took me by surprise, because I had asked that question because I wanted to request more stickier bandages. But no, other than that, I can say I didn't know that it took so long to make them, because geez, it takes a while to make them. I thought that it would have been faster, but I guess everything has a process.
And did you go for the smooth ones or the fabricy ones?
Yes, so they're flexible fabric. The smooth ones would be with latex. I'm trying to figure something out there to make that happen.
Yeah. So obviously there's so many ways that you can get into different schools and hospitals, and obviously at schools, then if this district school board was just carrying these products, that'd be really, really amazing. And then obviously in hospitals, people go get their blood work done and they need a Band-Aid, or just patients inpatient, or home care when patients go for home care and nurses come into the patient's home and they are redressing the bandage. There's so many opportunities.
I know there's so much to grow in this company. And you know what, it was daunting in the beginning because I was like, oh my God, I'm launching with just one product. People are going to think this is so lame. But I'm like, you know what? Everyone starts somewhere. I'm going to start with this one product. I'm going to launch with one product, and then I'm just going to grow from there. I don't have to be 100% with a full catalog yet to start getting the name of my company out there.
Absolutely.
And I just
Of course
did.
not. And I think it's so it's just, why hasn't it existed before? I'm sure there are lots of people that have used your product and put it on and been like, wow. This is this makes a huge this makes a huge difference.
It just makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
It's
Like,
literally like it's been so long, and it's like I said, it's just interesting that there are brands that are coming out with it now. But like, I am small, Black woman owned Canadian company, so I hope Canadians really consider supporting me instead of others.
honestly,
absolutely.
I wouldn't even focus on the big guys. Like, you're doing your thing and things will
Yeah.
just naturally evolve. And the other, obviously they have lots of money, they have lots of resources, but you have passion and you have a lot of support. And
Yes.
I think I'm like, I feel so happy that you're doing this, because I'm sure, I'm positive a million other Black people or color, anyone of color has thought of it, and clearly earlier than I did a couple of years ago, and been like, man, I really wish that I had a Band-Aid that looked like this, but no one's ever actually done it. So that's what stands you apart from everyone else. So congrats. It's really fantastic.
Thank you.
And I think like conscious consumers really will be looking for, like you said, looking for, I don't know, a product that isn't just like being performative and like kind of like riding on the back of like something that's like, I don't know, just like the last couple of years where everyone's like, we need more diversity and inclusion. And like, it is literally the very least that Band-Aid could do. And like you said, they haven't done it. They've had like so much time. So I think, I think anyone who's a conscious consumer will really definitely, I think, you'll go a long way for sure. I'm very excited about this product.
And this generation is just they're very smart consumers, like myself.
Sure.
And we like to know about what we're buying. Like and our generation is obsessed with a brand. Like, we're like, tell me your story. Like, so we love a brand.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah, they're indie brand too, right? Like, I'm an indie brand.
I just love that I was like, Heal in Color. I want it to be a household name. Like, I'm really building this up to be a household name and just be available in all big box stores. So, soon it'll be a big company in like a few years. So
absolutely. You're like well on your way to getting there. So yeah. So where would you point people if they wanted to know more about Heal in Color?
You can visit us at www.healincolor.ca. We do have a page that speaks about the brand, and you can also follow us at Heal in Color. We are at Heal in Color on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Very cool.
So congrats to you, and
thank you.
Appreciate you coming on the show. It's really cool. I'm sure that a lot of our listeners will be really excited about it.
Thank you. I'm really happy that I got to speak to you guys today. It was great. I enjoy talking about my brand, and the questions are always different. So I love getting to answer questions in different ways with different podcasts. So thank you for having me.
Of course.
Absolutely. We also do this very silly thing where we like to guess our guests' zodiac signs. Zodiac signs.
Oh my God. I love it.
Okay. So Brittany's really good at it. I am like horrible.
I can't wait to hear this.
Aries.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh my God. I am not an Aries, and literally Aries are just, okay. Sorry.
I feel that. Are you, I feel that. Are you a Capricorn?
I'm not a Capricorn.
What are you?
We'll give you one more guess.
Okay, fine. One more guess each. Okay. Leo.
Ding, 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 ding. You
Yes.
got it.
Nice.
I am a Leo, August 1st. Thank you.
You know why I knew? You didn't know what led me to think that was because you said, I love talking about my brand. I'm like, that's a Leo. Because I'm a Leo Virgo, but I'm actually a Virgo, but whatever. But I'm like right on the cusp.
Yeah.
Leo qualities are very like loud and proud.
Oh yeah, I know. I hear it all the
proud.
time. Like, so you're a Virgo, and what are you?
I'm a Pisces.
Pisces. Okay, I like that. I like getting along with Pisces and Virgos.
Spicy.
Actually, it's the Aries that are just Aries scarred me, man. I don't know what it.
I don't know what boy broke your heart, but
I was gonna say, did you date an Aries?
I did actually.
See, I say that about Pisces. I'm like, ooh.
I know. We have a bad rap for sure. But I don't know. Brittany and I go to the same massage therapist who does these like astrological readings. And apparently I'm not a typical Pisces. I'm a
Because you're very grounded, Courtney.
grounded Pisces. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's good
Supposedly.
then.
Supposedly. If you're interested in some astrological body work, we can
Hook
hook
you
that
up.
up for you.
Thank you again for coming on the show. It was amazing having you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to this episode of Living Transplant. If you have questions or suggestions for future episodes, email us at livingorgandonation@uhn.ca.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review Living Transplant on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
And follow us at Give Life UHN on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
See you next time.